It is 94 degrees outside. You walked past the thermostat 20 minutes ago and pushed the temperature down and nothing happened. No click. No hum from the vent. No fan noise out by the fence. Just a house that is getting warmer by about a degree an hour and a phone in your hand with the repair company's number pulled up. Now, before you press that, I want to tell you what the emergency call costs, because it is the reason I am making this video. A diagnostic visit runs $75 to $200 just for a man to stand in your yard, and after hours or on a weekend in a heat wave, that number goes higher. Somewhere between half and two-thirds of those visits end with him doing something you could have done yourself in under 15 minutes with a flashlight and a $9 pack of batteries. I am not guessing at that. That is the number the trade uses among ourselves. My name is Ray Kessler. I have been a licensed plumber for 31 years, and I have held a mechanical license for 19 of them, and I have driven to a great many houses in August to flip a switch somebody did not know existed. Today I am going to give you 5 checks, in the exact order I do them when I walk into a house, with what each one costs and how long it takes. The 5th one is the one nobody tells homeowners about, and it is the reason a perfectly healthy air conditioner will sit there dead in the middle of a heat wave and refuse to run. Now I will be straight with you about the title, because I would rather you trust me than be impressed by me. It says works on most units. That is fair, and I will tell you plainly where it stops working and when to put the flashlight down and call somebody, because there are 2 failures on this list that I do not want you touching. Stay with me. Let me start with what most folks get wrong, because if you do not understand this, none of the rest will make sense. You think of your air conditioner as one machine. It is not. It is 2 machines and a referee. There is the outdoor unit with the compressor and the big fan. There is the indoor unit, the air handler, or the furnace, with the blower and the coil. And there is the thermostat, which is not a machine at all. It is a switch. All it does is close a circuit and send 24 volts down a thin wire to say, start. So when nothing happens, there are only 3 possible stories. The switch never sent the message. The message got sent, but the power to act on it is missing. Or the message arrived and something deliberately refused. That last one is the one nobody expects, and I will get there. Check 1, the thermostat, and I know how it sounds, but I have taken money for this, and I did not enjoy it. If the screen is blank, it is batteries, and it is 2 AA cells that cost about $9 for a pack. Most thermostats give you a low battery warning for weeks, and most people never read it. If the screen is lit, look at 3 things: mode set to cool, not off, not heat, not auto. Temperature set at least 5 degrees below whatever the room actually is, because if it is 78 in the house and the thermostat says 76, the system may simply have decided it is close enough. Fan set to auto. Then switch it off, wait a full minute, and switch it back to cool. 1 minute, and that is not a stall on my part. Most systems have a built-in delay of 3 to 5 minutes that keeps the compressor from restarting too fast, and I have watched homeowners flip a switch, count to 10, and declare a unit dead. Check 2, power, and there are 3 switches, not 1. The breaker in your main panel, and often 2 breakers, one for the indoor unit and one for the outdoor. Look at the panel and find the one sitting halfway between on and off. To reset it properly, you push it all the way to off first, then firmly to on. Halfway does nothing, and that is the single most common reset mistake I see. Then the disconnect box outside on the wall beside the condenser, a small gray or metal box with a pull handle. Then, and this is the one that gets people, There is a switch on the wall beside your indoor unit that looks exactly like an ordinary light switch and is very often unlabeled. In an attic, a garage, a basement, a closet, somebody looking for the light switch flips it, and I have driven 40 minutes to flip it back. Free. Check 3, the filter. Pull it out and hold it up to a light. If you cannot see light through it, that is your problem, and a filter runs $8 to $20. A choked filter starves the coil of airflow, the coil drops below freezing, and it turns into a block of ice. Go look at the copper line coming out of your indoor unit. If it is furred white with frost, shut the system off, set the fan to on to blow warm air over it, and give it 4 to 6 hours to thaw. Put a clean filter in. Then, and I mean this, do not run it again until you know why it froze, because running a compressor against a frozen coil is how a $400 problem becomes a $4,000 one. Check 4 is the one I want you to be careful with. If the indoor blower runs and blows air but the outdoor unit sits there dead, or if you go outside and hear a low hum and a faint click from the condenser but the big fan is not turning, that is almost always the capacitor. It is a small metal cylinder inside the outdoor unit that gives the motor the kick it needs to start. The part costs $15 to $40. Now, here is the honest limit, and I will not soften it. A capacitor stores a lethal charge and holds it after the power is off. Not a shock. Lethal. I am not going to walk you through changing one in a video, and anybody who does without 10 minutes on discharging it first is being careless with you. Knowing the symptom is worth something, though, because now you can tell the technician on the phone that the fan hums but will not spin, and you will know whether the bill you get back matches the part. And check 5, the one nobody tells homeowners about. Go to your indoor unit and find the drain pan under the coil, and look for a small plastic device about the size of your thumb sitting in that pan or clipped to the drain line. That is a float switch. Your air conditioner pulls 5 to 20 gallons of water a day out of the air in cooling weather, and that water leaves through a small white pipe. When the pipe clogs with algae, the pan fills, that little float rises, and it cuts the 24-volt signal on purpose. Your system is not broken. Your system is refusing. It made a decision to shut itself off rather than pour water through your ceiling, and it will not run again until that water is gone. Here is the placement rule most folks get wrong. People find standing water and bail out the pan, and the unit starts, and they call it fixed. It is not fixed. The clog is still there, and you have bought yourself 2 days. Shut the power off at all 3 switches. Take a wet, dry shop vacuum outside. Find the white pipe leaving the house near the ground. Seal the hose over the end with duct tape and run it 2 minutes. You will hear when the plug lets go. Then come back inside. Find the capped T-shaped fitting standing up on the drain line. Take the cap off and pour a cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide down it. Not 35%, which is a chemical burn in a brown bottle regardless of what the label says about food grade. 3%, drugstore, $1. Never mix it with vinegar or bleach, because peroxide and vinegar together make a genuine industrial acid, and an attic is a small room. Wait 30 minutes, flush a cup of water, cap it, restore power. 15 minutes, $1, and I have watched a homeowner do that and hear the system kick on before I got back to the truck. Now, I want to take a moment, because this is the part that matters. Look at what this list actually cost. $9 in batteries, a free switch on a wall, a $12 filter, $1 of peroxide and 15 minutes with a borrowed vacuum. Set that against a diagnostic fee at $75 to $200 and an after-hours emergency rate on a Sunday in July, and the pressure a man feels sitting in a 94-degree house to say yes to whatever is put in front of him. That is the real cost of not knowing these 5 things, and it is not the parts, it is the position. I am not going to tell you there is a villain in this. Nobody held a meeting about your thermostat. Most of the technicians I know will happily tell you all of this if you ask. But nobody knocks on your door in April to volunteer it, because there is no money in teaching a man to check 3 switches. There is no product called order of operations. The man who trained me on mechanical work had one rule he said out loud before every call, standing at the truck. He said, check the free things first, and check all of them, because the expensive thing is easier to find and it is almost never the answer. So here is what I want you to do, right now, before you make that call. Change the thermostat batteries and set it to cool, 5 degrees down, fan on auto, off for 1 full minute, then on. Find all 3 power switches, the breakers, the outdoor disconnect, and the unlabeled one beside your indoor unit, and check every one of them, off then firmly on. Pull the filter and hold it to the light. Look at the copper line for frost. Then look in that drain pan for standing water and clear the line if there is any. Under $25, under an hour. And if the breaker trips again the moment you reset it, if you smell anything burning, or if that fan hums without spinning, stop right there and make the call, because those 3 are not yours, and there is no shame in that. About an hour from now, more likely than not, you are going to be standing in your hallway, and you are going to hear that first rush of cold air come out of the vent above your head, and you are going to remember which one of the 5 it was. Tell me in the comments below which check was the one that fixed it for you, how old your system is, and whether you even knew that little switch beside the air handler was there. I read every one of them, and what you send back is the reason I keep making these. Next time, I am going to show you that same drain line before it ever clogs, the monthly 5-minute habit that keeps it open all season, where the float switch belongs in the pan and the one place people mount it that makes it useless, and why a great many houses do not have one at all. It is the natural next step after today. Until then, check the free things first, wait the full minute, look for the water, and remember, the men who built these houses with their hands knew things we are only just starting to.